That's our guy, but
it's not gotten off the rails. Like, this is the thing. Okay. All I'm saying is we can't, like, people are actually saying, see, Jimmy, we knew this was going to happen if Jimmy was on the team. And I assume what they're talking about is controversy or noise or complaining or pressure or something. But, like, the season is not off the rails yet. In fact, there's no reason why Jimmy Garoppolo can't quarterback this team to the playoffs exactly like he did last year. While I get Trey Lance got hurt and that stinks and he's the quarterback of the future, we all kind of agree Garoppolo's probably more ready now. So even though I think it wasn't a great idea to bring Garoppolo back, and yes, you were asking for issues, this is why you brought him back. The season still has a chance to be salvaged, whereas if Jimmy Garoppolo weren't here and it were Brock Purdy, would you really want that? Would you really want Brock Purdy quarterbacking this team right here, right now, knowing that there's 14 more games?
Listen, I told you yesterday, Steiny, I told you I think this thing is bad. There's a stench, but the football part of it is the easiest part. You talk now like you got a helmet on and eye black. What part don't you understand? And I agree with B, this is bigger than football. I didn't, Willard didn't. We said you divorced this guy. You put him over behind the barn and said, don't even show your face. We're not even going to invest practice moments with you because we know you're up out of here. And for whatever reason, that's the course they chose. And now, all of a sudden, with the things that have happened, it's mental now. This is not the same Jimmy Garoppolo. He's pissed off.
Might be better.
He's hurt. He's not better out to shoot. Now, he could come back Monday. If you really are looking at me and telling the fans, Steiny, you think he might be better, hey, he's telling you he's not even in shape.
I think it's reasonable. I think it's absolutely, positively reasonable to think that Jimmy Garoppolo, who quarterbacked in the NFC Championship game in January, had off-season surgery, didn't have training camp, was getting his first start on Game 3. I think it's reasonable to suggest he's probably going to start playing better than he did against the Denver Broncos. Okay. Yes, I believe that.
I'm not mad at you, but you started the show, partner, with the first question for the head coach is going to be what number 10 was saying when he was walking off the field. Not about what he saw, not about the game. He's going to be, were you sending shots? And that's why this is drama. And that's why I said this had all the ingredients to get messy. Steiny, I'm asking you this, and everybody's listening. Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo's demeanor has changed towards Kyle Shanahan? And maybe I can put that in layman terms where he don't give a, you know what? I feel that. Not he's not going to go out and try any less. He don't give a rat's ass.
How does that manifest itself on the field if you're saying he's a pro and obviously he's going to keep trying?
I'll go Exhibit A. Again, he ain't doing it on purpose. He wasn't ready to play, and he's still not ready to play. So is 1 week going to get him ready? I don't know. But again, what we saw Sunday, that ain't going to cut it, Steiny. So are they going to be 1-4 before he's ready to, feeling this? Okay,
why would you give him 2 losses already? Like, why would you jump ahead 2 games?
Because
they got to play the Rams.
Preseason is 3-4 weeks.
I know, but if you
I'll give him one loss. I wouldn't even give him a loss.
But the point is, if Jimmy Garoppolo's rusty, that's on Shanahan.
No doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with whether Jimmy's feeling good about himself or not. Jimmy's got to get himself into playing shape.
When I say Jimmy feeling good, it's part of the playing shape, but the other part is respect, Steiny. I think he's lost all respect for how Kyle treated him and handled him, and he knows he wants to play football. Again, that's not why he stepped out in the back of the end zone. I'm telling you, little things like that change the dynamic of a locker room. This is super messy.
See, if the team's upset with Kyle and they want Garoppolo, I think they'll rally around Garoppolo. I don't think they'll mutiny.
I'm not disputing that.
Okay.
I'm talking about the coach and the quarterback, their relationship.
See, their relationship is the same as it always was.
Wow.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying Garoppolo's not handling it differently, but Garoppolo knew, like, he's played for Kyle Shanahan for 5 years now. I mean, he knows what it's like to play for Kyle Shanahan. You know what? It's a pain in the ass to play for Kyle Shanahan. We know that. So now some stuff happened where it became official that Garoppolo was going to, they didn't want Garoppolo, and then they wanted him back, and he's dealing with that.
Needed him back, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I still, we knew all this when they re-signed him, that this was a possibility. This was something that Kyle Shanahan downplayed. And I didn't think he should downplay it, because I did think it was a big deal. But my point is at least at this point, I don't look at it like that. In fact, I look at it as though, wow, Kyle may be able to get away with this thing if Kyle Shanahan, the talent evaluator who brought Jimmy back as a backup, and they go 10-7. If they go 10-7 with Jimmy Garoppolo, I got news for you. Kyle Shanahan is more likely to get an extension than be fired in the next 2 years.
That's interesting you say that. And I don't have the evidence to dispute that, and I won't. What I think you're not accounting for is like a parent getting talked back to by their child in front of company or other family members, and you sit back like, something's off here, because it's obvious that the kid is not respecting you. Now, you'll handle it when you handle it. You're right about the 10-7, but there is no slot, I believe, that Kyle even thought I got to account for. We'll find out today if that question is asked. And then we've seen Jimmy insinuate he hadn't been let Jimmy cook. There's a different way he would prefer. Those are the type of things subliminally that Jimmy can demonstrate and convey to the media. And Kyle can do it one of two ways, Steiny, because I know it's uncomfortable. I can go back at this dude through the media if I'm asked, or I can just bite the bullet and say everything's okay, but he can't control what I believe the messages Jimmy's trying to send. And Jimmy, to me, and I said it wasn't a big deal. I did Monday, but everybody's going crazy with it. This is a non-football question that Kyle's going to be asked today, and to me, that qualifies as drama.
You don't think when Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch were talking about bringing Jimmy back as a backup, they didn't think, well, listen, obviously if he starts quarterbacking, if Trey gets hurt, which is the reason we're getting him as insurance. So let's think about if and when he does play, how his psyche will be. They thought about that. They had to think about that. That's why they signed him.
Okay.
So they either thought, they thought, well, Jimmy's, he's probably going to be carefree because he knows we wanted to kick him out, but maybe that'll be better because he'll throw caution to the wind.
But they didn't think about everything, because if they had, and I'm not faulting them, they just knew Jimmy was gone. And had they known that there was even a slight possibility he could come back, Steiny, he would have been getting some form of reps. Now this man is playing live games, and I give him hey, I believe you're rusty, Jimmy. I love you for saying it. Even though you did say, it's like riding a bike. Now it ain't riding a bike, but still, I just feel like even if he throws 4 interceptions, Jimmy Garoppolo, Steiny, last year he would feel bad about it. This year he'd be disappointed. But that whole thing that's like the last of what he's thinking. And if you say, Goo, that don't mean anything, it's not going to stop him from getting to where they're supposed to go. I'll go, okay.
What about his contract? Doesn't he have incentive to play well because of his contract?
Well, he's getting that just by the amount of snaps he takes. But I thought
I'm talking about next year.
Yeah, I thought you were. Well,
so he's a free agent. He doesn't want to go 4-13.
No, you're right. You're right.
So he's going to go out and try as hard as he can and play the best that he can, regardless of his relationship with Kyle, because he wants another contract with another team.
Let me ask you this then. So what's the big deal? I know it's Thursday. We talked about it Monday. If you can help me out, because I don't remember, Steiny, honestly. So what was the big deal then of what Jimmy demonstrated if he did say these plays suck on a national?
Listen, I thought...
No, because you just said he said it. You didn't say it was a big deal.
No,
I'm asking.
It's a sign.
Right.
It's a sign is all it is. But to me, what did it do? You know what? It reinforced to me that Kyle and Jimmy ain't kumbaya. Okay, did we know that? Well, we could sense that. Okay? But now they're short-timer. He's a short-timer. Garoppolo's a short-timer.
No, but I think that's big that they're not cool, Steiny, and I think I convinced myself that
But I don't think they were cool last year.